The face and future of Africa is economic freedom. We say to Mukwanazi, do not be shaken, because if they fire you, there is a position for you in the EFF so that we can continue to fight corruption in South Africa. We want to say to Captain Ibrahim Traoré that we stand with him and support his vision for the Sahel region and the whole of African continent, including the expulsion of French colonialism. The EFF was not born in a boardroom, nor was it the product of political convenience or negotiations. It was built by those who refused to keep quiet while the dreams of 1994 were Amanda! Viva EFF, viva! I hule EFF, I hule! I kule EFF, I kule! Tata EFF, tata! Tata EFF, tata! Stand here not only to celebrate 12 years of EFF, but to acknowledge that Khayelitsha's history is a mirror of our country's long struggle against dispossession, segregation, and economic marginalization. Today, we gather here not just to celebrate a milestone in the life of a political movement, but to honor a revolutionary journey that has shaped South African politics, disrupted the complacency of the ruling elite, and planted the seed of hope in the hearts of millions who had long been forgotten by a democracy they helped to create. It has been 12 years since the formation of the economic freedom fighters. 12 years since we, driven by conviction, principle, and the urgent crisis of our people, declared that we will build a movement rooted in radical economic transformation, courage, and commitment to justice. On the 26th of July, 2013, a historic meeting was convened at Uncle Tom's Hall in Soweto, where thousands of delegates, young and old, came together under the banner of economic freedom in our lifetime. It was in that moment that the EFF was officially launched. It was not just a political party, but a movement of the marginalized, the landless, the unemployed, and the oppressed. We declared our cardinal pillars boldly and without apology, demanding the expropriation of land without compensation, the nationalization of mines, banks, and other strategic sectors of our economy, free quality education, healthcare, and sanitation, and the eradication of the exploitative economic system that continues to deepen inequality in our country. 12 years later, those pillars remain intact, not because we are stubborn, but because the conditions that birthed them have not changed. If anything, the need for them has grown more urgent as the poor become poorer while the rich fortify themselves behind high walls and private security. We are a product of the pain of domestic workers, gardeners, cleaners, rock drill operators, petrol attendants, and the forgotten masses of our people. It was after the bullets which shot down 34 mine workers in Marikana that the history of South Africa was changed forever. It was after Mam Bush took his last breath that a new revolution was born in Africa, led by the EFF. Comrades, fighters, and the proud people of Khayelitsha, today we gather in the heart of this township, Khayelitsha, home to over 1 million black people who mark one of the largest townships population in South Africa. We stand here not only to celebrate 12 years of EFF, but to acknowledge that Khayelitsha's history is a mirror of our country's long struggle against dispossession, segregation, and economic marginalization. They talk about non-racialism when they know they are the most racist and racist to the core. They know deep down that they hate the people of Gugulethu. That's why there are potholes in Gugulethu. That's why there are bucket toilets in Khayelitsha and Gugulethu. That's why there is daily blackouts in all the black townships, because the DA government hates the people of Cape Flats. Fighters, we must not be misled. The people of Mitchell's Plain are being neglected. We must fight for them so that their dignity is restored, because they too, this province belongs to them. This city belongs to them. It doesn't belong to a group of racists who claim to care because they want to defend the benefits of the few. We have the highest level of unemployment in the world, particularly amongst young people. Yet we are being told by arrogant, racist bankers that the only way statistics collected by Statistics South Africa will be credible is when there is a white matriculant supervising black professionals. He sits in his office and says to himself, I think unemployment rate in South Africa is less than 10%, when in reality it's more than 43%. This is not only insulting, it is a continuation of a colonial logic that sees black intelligence as inferior and white approval as the only measure of credibility. We remain the most unequal society on earth, and this inequality is racial. It is the same inequality that defined apartheid, just dressed now in liberal terms. In Constantia and Clifton, people have access to clean water, private health care, private education, and security. In Khayelitsha, Gugulethu, and Philippi, people face daily power cuts, gang violence, overcrowded in schools, and clinics that run out of medication before lunch. Our old people are now refusing to go to the public hospitals, and when you ask them why, they tell you that we are going to die because hospitals do not have facilities. At the center of this dysfunction is the financialization of our economy. We have handed over the future of this country to a banking group, 6 banks that operate in the shadows, unaccountable to the people, yet more powerful than Parliament. They influence decisions at the South African Reserve Bank. They dictate who can get a loan, who can open a bank account, who can own property, and who can access funding for a business. Despite being the majority consumers, black people have no influence over the banks. There are 28 registered banks, 30 cooperatives, and 76 life insurances in South Africa. None of them is controlled by black people. Yet, they are the very same institutions that determine whether we live in dignity or die in poverty. They decide whether we can get insurance for our homes, health, and lives. They decide whether we qualify for a loan to start a business or to send a child to university. These institutions are sitting on a balance sheet of over 12 trillion, and this 12 trillion is not being used to develop townships, not being used to build industries, not being used to invest in the rural economy. If we do not change this economy, if we do not reindustrialize, rebuild the state, protect the SOEs, develop rural economies, and create meaningful jobs, we are heading towards a crisis bigger than what we see now. South Africa cannot survive on extraction, imports, and elite consumption. We need an economy that works for the people, not just the privileged few. Fighters, in the past 12 years, the EFF has grown. Many people thought that the EFF will die. They saw it in Parliament. Many people thought the EFF will die. They saw it in provincial legislatures. They saw it in municipalities. They saw it in every street, in every ward, in every house, in every factory, in every school, in every university. The red flag is flying very high. It is not about to die. Comrades, we have used Parliament not as a space for careerism or elitism. We have used Parliament as a battleground. Many people today know Parliament because of the EFF. If it was not of the EFF, people will not know that there is a channel on TV that broadcasts Parliament of the Republic of South Africa. Many people today know Honorable Speaker and point of order because of the EFF. If it was not of the EFF, you will not have known all of those things. Comrades, we are not just a protest movement. We are government. We are a government in Ikuruleni. We are a government in Tshwane. We are a government in Nelson Mandela. We are government in eThekwini. In the past 12 years, we achieved the dream that we said needed to be achieved when we formed this organization at Uncle Tom's Hall in July 2013. We said we are a government in waiting. We are no longer a government in waiting. We are a government. And where we govern better. And where we govern, black people are happy with the services of the EFF. There is no one who can stop our children from getting a better education. There is no one who's going to stop Wi-Fi to be installed in every institution of higher learning and the high schools. Fighters, we are General Ntantla Mkhwanazi, and General Ntantla Mkhwanazi is us. We support General Ntantla Mkhwanazi. We are not ashamed of General Ntantla Mkhwanazi. We are calling upon more Mkhwanazis in the police to come out and fight crime and syndicate that has captured the police, that has captured our country. We will not sit back and allow our country to be controlled by drug syndicate. We say to Mkhwanazi, do not be shaken, because if they fire you, there is a position for you in the EFF so that we can continue to fight corruption in South Africa. General Mkhwanazi should know that there is only one hope for the fearless, and that hope is the EFF. Fighters, you must go and look at the youth of Kenya. They are not scared of the establishment. They are fighting for their freedom. They are fighting for their determination. When they increased VAT, the youth in that country stood up and said, not in our name. When corruption continued to take place, they stood up and said, not in our name. Many of them were killed, many of them continue to be killed, but the youth of Kenya does not retreat, it's leading from the front. I'm calling upon you, the youth of South Africa and Africa, to be inspired by the youth of Kenya and stand for what you believe in. We want to say to Captain Ibrahim Traoré that we stand with him and support his vision for the Sahel region and the whole of African continent, including the expulsion of French colonialism.